After the earthquake, you start to look around and you notice that there's a mysterious hole in the ground of the parking garage.
I investigate.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
14.
Okay, it's a hole in the ground, and there appears to be something in the hole in the ground. It's giving a bit of a dangerous aura.
I go down the hole.
The hole with the menacing aura?
Yeah, there can be loot down there.
I do suppose.
Also, it's a horror campaign. What's the worst that can happen?
All right. After discovering this ancient tome in the depths of the vault, you bring it back to your room, and you notice that the book seems to be made of human skin with fang-like teeth on the binding. You get a foreboding sense that something dangerous is hidden within the book. What do you do?
I try and open it.
Okay, give me a dexterity check.
3.
You manage to grab it, but you grab it very clumsily, and it cuts your finger, and blood spills upon the cover. And then, after the blood seeps into the cover, it opens without you even trying to touch it.
Ooh, look, the book opened.
It opened unnaturally. You did not have anything to do with the book opening. It appears as though the book desired to be opened and read.
Okay, I read it.
Can I try to persuade him otherwise? No? Fine.
You noticed that the book is full of strange and foreboding images, strange words and scripts that you don't seem to recognize.
Oh, I can't understand this.
But you do remember that you have these recordings on vinyl records associated with the things in the ancient tomb that was, again, covered in holy symbols and all sorts of things that told you not to mess with them.
The disc. I play them. DJ skills.
Okay, it's going rather slowly at first because it's almost as if it's been designed so that you don't play them.
Oh, thank goodness. It didn't work right away. Perhaps you... Why did you pick up your dice? Why are you rolling?
DJ skills. Nat 20. That's what my character would do.
Well, you get them to actually talk very clearly, and you get the ancient recordings of a priest, and he starts talking about how the fact that this book that's been bound in human flesh is an ancient tome full of dangers and darkness and demons, known as the Book of Death. And that all of the people that he's associated with are all saying, no, don't do it, it's literally called the Book of Death. Whatever you do, don't say any of the prayers that are written inside of it, because it's probably going to encourage some demons. What do you do?
I play the next disc.
Your mother's been turned into a demon, but you hear her outside of the door. Please, just open the door. We can be one big happy family.
Mama! I go to open the door.
She was very clearly possessed.
It's my mom. I'm a mama's boy.
You have another excuse for that?
That's what my character would do.
Ah, of course. This goes with my character.
All right.
Go and get eaten by the demon.
You finally managed to escape from the room that your mother broke into and attempted to murder you once again into because she's possessed by a demon. And you end up on the outside of the hallway and you've been told. Give me a history check.
17.
You remember that you were told that there is a fire escape to get to the bottom of the stairway in room 82. But there's a lock in front of the doorway that they were trying to pick earlier in the evening, and they didn't seem to be able to succeed necessarily. And you also see the elevator continues to act very oddly, as if it's possessed by some kind of demon spirit like your mother, and your two former siblings.
Okay, I bust down the door. Not one.
Well, I guess the only option is the demon-filled elevator, unless you want to try again in another way.
Let's just go in the elevator.
What? What?
The elevator, it's still open.
I still haven't tried to open the door. Perhaps it's a riddle.
It's too late. In the elevator. Pull you along. 18.
Curse you, newfangled dice! We go into the clearly evil, dead elevator.
An elevator can't be dead. It's not living in the first place.
Are you really going to be arguing technicalities in a horror campaign? No, wait! Let me guess!
It's what my...
a character would do.
Exactly.
Is your excuse for everything? Fine.
Okay. The elevator begins to fill with blood gushing, and it's about to drown you, and then suddenly the doors swing open, and you are rushed out with a pool of blood, and you're left with the car to escape.
Drive it out. That one.
The car got stuck. The demons are coming.
What do you mean that the tire's stuck? Why are the tires always stuck?
It's a horror campaign. We hide on the other side by the passenger door.
I don't know, just run them to the...
20.
That actually worked.
That worked? Okay.
Alright, ring around the rosy this. We keep walking around the car.
Okay, full of posy?
18.
Still worked.
Why does this keep working? Is it that simple? Is this why all my plots have been foiled? No.
Is the garage still open?
Give me an investigation check.
16.
Okay, yes, the garage door is open, but it appears to be almost starting to close a little bit. You know that there's a bit of a timer going on, so it's probably going to close very, very soon. You also notice a wood chipper.
Alright. Run for the exit. 14.
18. Yes, I made it. We both made it.
You make it, but the child that you're trying to drag through doesn't.
What do you mean the child didn't make it? Just leave the child. We don't need children. We can make more.
Now you're on the other side of a locked door. Do you just leave the child and go on your merry way, or do you take the child who's probably going to be dead soon?
Nah, that's what my character would do. Bust it open. Nat 20.
You're back in the garage, and now you have a way of escape. The girl, she fights and she struggles, and she gets free, and you can kind of get a hold of her, and the wood chipper's working.
I shove him in the wood chipper.
Nice.
Yes! Yes! The wood chipper!
Alright. So that's a 17.
I give you a little extra push.
Totally works.
Worked! Woohoo! Wood chipper for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, very good.
I take the chainsaw covered in blood.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes, that's metal.
Alright.
Yes. I would like to intimidate everyone in the room and make them feel. That is a natural 20.
Everything is afraid of you now. You have successfully intimidated everything.
Yes! Everyone fears me.
Yes, even the moon fears you, Invisible Man. Well done.
What? It's exactly what my character would do.
Welcome back to Entertainment Rebooted and yet another episode of Cinema Revisited, The Evil Dead, where we're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the iconic of this classic horror franchise. Speaking of classic horrors, I'm joined, of course, by the channel's kaiju Pat, the overpowered
Big corn energy.
Indeed, we're going to need as much energy as we can get, as we are talking tonight about none other than the 2023 film Evil Dead Rise, starring a whole bunch of people that I didn't even bother to remember the names of.
I don't even remember their character names.
Neither do I, but I can tell you this: Bruce Campbell is not in it, and we will revolt it done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're rising up to.
Rise up. Bring Bruce Campbell back.
The chin.
Bring back the chin.
Boomstick. And all. Anyway, before we get too distracted and lose every last one of our 59 beloved fans,
Howdy.
let's go ahead. We're going to talk about the plot, if we can remember the plot behind all of the sheer amount of gore and violence that has overtaken this franchise since its early days with Sam Raimi. Pat, if you could, a brief plot synopsis of The Evil Dead Rise. Actually, it's just Evil Dead Rise. They didn't even bother with the.
We start at a lake.
Of course.
We see the whoosh, whoosh, and then a woo at a person at a dock looking over the lake. But it's not evil spirit. Turns out it was a drone driven by the boyfriend of her best friend that dragged her out there. She goes back to the cabin because
she being random girl number one that we've run into. She's reading a very withered copy of Witherton Heights.
Withering.
Withering. There was a U.
Yeah.
Is it Withering?
It's supposed to be Wuthering Heights, but
They spelled with a U.
Yeah, they said Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights.
Probably
It's a spoof.
Yeah, label, trademark.
Anywho,
she's reading Wuthering Heights by a name that's blurred but kind of looks like Emily Dickinson.
Maybe, possibly, could be. Don't know. Do we even care though? Because we've come across a cabin in the woods.
And it's an A-frame!
Classic A-frame. It helps keep all the snow off the top so that it doesn't collapse.
We go inside and she's talking to girl numero uno.
Dos. I didn't even take Spanish.
Yeah, dos.
Anyway.
My brain skipped.
My brain skipped a beat.
She's talking
There were women. Do I know how many of them and in what order they appeared? No. But there were two of them.
She's talking to girl numero dos, who is on the bed.
Facing away from her. She
and
might
seems
be
to be a little sick.
A little sick. She's kind of giggling. She's moaning a little bit. It's not a good time.
Girl number one tells girl number two if she doesn't get up in half an hour, she might have to go drown her boy toy in the lake. Girl number two, that doesn't say anything. Girl number one sits down and starts reading her book again.
Facing girl number two, because that's exactly how I want to read all of my books, staring at the unconscious bodies of my friends.
You don't do that already?
You know that I do that?
I have a camera. Yeah. We'll talk after this.
It's just so tranquil and peaceful. It's like, that's the only way I can have friends.
Then we hear a sound and it snaps back up. Girl number two is sitting up, facing away, but perfectly reading the book line for line.
The book that she cannot see because the girl is holding her copy of Wuthering Heights. And she's somehow quoting Wuthering Heights, which is very clearly a dark romantic fantasy version of Wuthering Heights.
Yep. Girl numero dos tries to figure out what... Girl numero uno tries to figure out what's going on with numero dos. girl number 2 then collapsed off the bed. Girl number 1 walks up.
And girl number 2 starts seizing and vomiting pure white.
So girl number 1 turns her head, but not her whole body.
Because that's definitely going to make sure that all of the white, mysterious fluid
Gets
is
out
not
of the
trapped
body.
in her throat.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Turn the body on the side. All the way on the side, people.
Yes, a PSA, just turn the entire body over on the side, because if you just turn the neck...
Yeah, no. No.
Congratulations, you've just choked your friend on vomit.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Girl number 1 then snaps back to... Girl number 2 then snaps back to reality and is talking to the friend after friend 1 thinks that girl number 2 is dead. And as she's talking to her, she grabs her ponytail.
Well, no, she whirls her finger around the side.
No, it's a ponytail.
Is it did she grab behind the ponytail?
She...
Oh, that makes sense, because the next thing, do you want the honors or can I? She grabs hold of the ponytail and she scalps her.
One clean yank.
Just clean yank. It literally was like, you know what they do with the tablecloth? She did that, but with her skull, because that's exactly what we love about horror movies. Just the blood and guts, baby.
Girl number 1 then runs back out to the dock where the boyfriend of girl number 2 is taking a piss off the end of it.
It's a good thing too, because what would have happened next would have been a piss his pants.
She collapses next to him. He's like, "Oh my god, what happened?" Girl number 2 then comes out, grabs the drone, and shoves it into her own face while it's running.
And then jumps into the lake. And then, of course, the guy, being the hero, decides to jump into the lake after his clearly possessed friend who just chopped her own face up with the drone. Bro, call it a loss. But instead, no, let's jump into the lake after this girl, instead of checking our friend who's recently been scalped, maybe calling the police, calling an ambulance.
Medevac,
anything.
4 strangers,
Anyone.
5 different exorcists, the Ghostbusters, Sam and Dean Winchester,
Buffy, the Vampire Slayer,
Scooby-Doo.
the Scooby Gang.
Yeah.
Well, I already said the Scooby Gang, but the other Scooby Gang, the original Scooby Gang, the OG Scooby Gang. Hell, call in Sidney Prescott. Would have been a much better movie.
The lake then bubbles as he's trying to fight out, looks really bloody, and then all of a sudden something shoots out of the water and lands on the dock. And it's his head and this part of his neck only.
And then we get, from the depths of the lake,
She
rises up
in a T formation.
And then behind the mountains, we get a really cool, like, I'm not gonna lie, that credit, the opening credit scene with the crawl behind the mountains that rises up.
Evil Dead Rise. Flashback to reality.
Flashback 1 day earlier.
We're in a bar. We're in a music stadium bathroom with Bethany. Bethany.
It's got to be on here, right? Of course not. Why would it be on here?
It's either Bethany or Betty.
The aunt. Our main character.
Our
main girl.
And she just took a pregnancy test. And we're gathering it was positive. Even though it seems like it read really too soon for it to ever tell anything.
It was the fastest pregnancy test that ever has been peed on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of peeing in this movie already. But don't worry, it's not a trend.
Nope.
Speaking of things that are trends, she decides that she's going to go to her sister's house to see what's up and talk to her about perhaps what it's like being a mom, because this lady has 3 children. And she gets to the apartment and the sister is kind of pissed, and the sister is like, "Yo, bro, my boo hath left me with the children, and we have to move out because they're tearing this building down
at the end of the month.
So I got to pack. You're welcome to stay on the couch, but you're kind of a biatch.
You abandoned me
and my children.
I tried to reach out.
So we're going to stop singing.
Just
a collective sigh was heard.
So while they're talking and she's figuring this out, the mother had sent the children out to get some pizza,
Right.
so that she could talk to the ant by herself. The kids come back home in the garage.
And then there's an earthquake.
The earth shakes in anticipation.
And it shatters and opens up a hole in the parking garage of a building that we've found out recently was once a bank.
The son of the sister looks into the hole and realizes it's the inside of a vault. He climbs down into it.
Because why not?
Because there could be money in there, you know?
I think
There could be
there could be gold.
there could be stuff worth some money, and, you know, their family could use some money at the moment,
A
actually.
little bit of,
Yeah.
a little bit of cash.
Just a little bit of an influx would have been nice,
Anyway, he descends down and he starts discovering that the vault is full of very odd artifacts. There's some papers, there's some records.
He takes them, puts them in his backpack, because
As one
he
does.
is a DJ.
And he's just like, yo, bro, these things are vintage. There's probably some Creedence Clearwater on these
I could
bad
make
boys.
some
We'll make
sweet
some sweet tunes. Anyway, he hears a little bit of tinkling going on in the back. Not tinkling in the way of peeing. That's no longer a trend. Now we're into the new trend, and that new trend is religious symbology.
He
Because
walks back, and hanging from the ceiling and the walls are hundreds of crosses and Saint Benedict medals. And there beneath them all is a stone casket that's been busted open on the side.
So of course he decides to go looking in the hole, because that's what you do. You look in holes.
They're surrounded by a bunch of prayers scrawled on the walls and religious symbols everywhere.
Most of them involving protection, and anyway, he's also getting a bad aura.
Yep.
The entire time, kind of creeped out.
Yep.
But there's a thing in the crypt. Let's grab it.
He grabs that, and then he goes back up to his...
Well, no, he opens the thing first.
Sees that it's a book.
Well, it's covered in cockroaches.
Yeah.
And the cockroaches all fly out. But then he keeps the book, because,
It's a book.
it's a book.
What's the danger of a book?
Nothing bad has ever happened from reading a book.
Goes back to his sisters. At the same time, the sister and the aunt are trying to get a hold of them, but the cell towers are knocked out from the recent earthquake.
So they decide to go going out and looking for them. We run into the hall and we see a couple of the neighbor kids. We run into like an old guy, a young
Mr.
guy.
Fond, who I believe is the landlord, the tenant,
Yeah.
supervisor.
And we get the vast majority of our setting exposition. They're on the 13th floor. It seems the only way in and out is an elevator. The stairs are busted, and there's a fire escape in room 82.
But room 82 was locked.
Because it was condemned.
Yes.
So there's a massive lock sequence thing on it. So, well, they kind of established that a little before and a little after.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of time, though,
We're condensing.
because we care about time. Clearly,
Yes.
this entire channel is not dedicated to wasting time and having a fun hobby talking about movies at the longest possible times. I'm so lonely. So
The brother and his sister, who he has two sisters, the older of the two sisters, are in his room. He shows her the book. He's like, maybe it could be worth money. Mom could definitely use some money right now.
absolutely, don't do it though, because you stole it. That thing's extra super ultra creepy.
And it looks like it's bound in flesh. They don't know it's actually bound in flesh at this moment, but it looks like it. And instead of clasp, it has fangs.
It's sealed with fangs.
like straight up long,
Like it looks
long spiky fangs.
long, spiky, yellowed fangs.
While he's trying to fiddle it open,
Because, you gots to open the fanged sealed book that's bound in mysterious flesh.
he gets cut and his blood drips upon the cover.
And the cover just takes in all that blood, and it's so tasty that it decides to do what no man in America does. It opens up.
He opens the book, and in it, we see distraught, tortured, and disfigured humans. Ancient words written in scrawling languages. and he starts flipping through, and the sister's like, "Yo, I don't like this. Shut it.
This crap creepy. Shut it. Get rid of it. We don't want anything to do with this. This is weird.
Leave it alone. I want you to put it back in the vault." He's like, "Mom's not letting anyone out tonight." She's like, "All right, first thing in the morning."
First thing in the morning. But I'm going to leave you with this book that I told you not to read because I trust you, who's already opened this book and read the book, to not continue to open this book and read this book. So she just leaves. So immediately, not even waiting for the door to shut all the way.
He goes back, starts flipping through the book, realizes he can't read any of it. So he grabs the disc that he got, and he starts playing the first one.
And it comes out and it's going super slow. But because they have super awesome, sick DJ skills, they decide to start spinning it a little bit. And the first disc, we get the interview in the introduction where a priest goes and he says, "I found these books, and it's one of the 3 associated books of this ancient religion, and it's called the Book of Death." And then we get the greatest line from a side character that we never see in the history of side characters that we never see. "Why the hell would you open that? It's called the Book of the Dead."
Don't read that. It's called the Book of Death.
It's literally called the Book of Death. Why would you read it? Anyway, he reads it in disc 2.
He then goes on to disc 2, and he said, "It has now been a week, and I shall now read the first passage from the book
Verbatim.
verbatim in translation."
And he starts doing it, and the kid, of course, starts playing it. But thankfully, while things actually start getting really weird, meanwhile, like the mom's in the elevator.
She's going to throw out some of the old boo stuff.
Yeah, she's throwing out some stuff.
It was the husband's old stuff.
Yeah, the husband's old stuff. She's on her way back up the elevator while the recording's going. The kid is still spinning it, but when things start getting weird,
he decides to try to stop it. Actually,
he does by first
hitting the power button,
the power button,
which
the
doesn't
stop
work.
button that doesn't work.
Then he tries to yank the needle off the record, and it shocks him.
And it keeps the needle down, so it continues to play, and it's continuing to play at speed.
And then the elevator shoots up all the stairs with the mom in it, and the mom shoots to the roof of the elevator, and it gets to the 13th floor, and she crashes down.
And then there's wires and cables and everything like that, and they start having a very fun game that we're very familiar with the Evil Dead franchise, except it's not trees this time.
It's cable tie.
It's called cable tie, and it is an art. Anyway, so
first it wraps around her neck and tries to hang her, and then she gets her foot up, and she's trying to prop herself up, and then it grabs that foot, grabs the other foot,
yanks the other one,
grabs her arms, and it starts contorting her body against her will,
pulling her. And then we get a flashback back to the house, and the kid is freaked out because there's this weird thing. The aunt keeps having these moments where she's just like trying to be like motherly to the youngest child, so she's trying to get her to take a bath and things like that, but she's obviously doing weird stuff. And then the other girl is doing something else.
She's preparing for a protest that she was going to go to the next day.
Right. She was planning to go to a protest. She's drawing a poster that's like, "Let's keep the earth cool.
Let's make the earth cool again."
Oh, that's what it is. And so
then they're like, "Hey, I haven't seen Mom. Have you?" Because the power goes out.
Yeah.
On that landing. So they're like, must be a circuit breaker. And then they look in the room, the mom's not there. And then they go and they sit, and the door opens. And in comes the mom, but
she doesn't seem
so right. So she goes into the kitchen and she turns their gas stove all the way up.
And starts pan and starts throwing eggs in, full body eggs into the pan.
And the eggs aren't just regular eggs because there's blood in them.
Tasty. That's a little bit of extra iron.
And she's talking about, "I had a lovely dream. We were all in the trees, and these birds were singing a nice melody. And sometimes I just think about how I'd love to cut you all open and crawl inside so we can be one big happy family."
And that was when they started realizing something might not be right with Mom. At that point.
So they back up out of the room, and then the mom is It's inside me.
Don't let it take my children.
And then she just produces a lot of bodily fluids out of her mouth.
Pure milk.
And
It
then
really was. It was just white fluids, milk.
And then she collapses into the giant puddle of
milk.
Ilk
milk.
So they try to the son and the aunt grab her, and they're dragging her down the hallway, and then they see the elevators all busted up, and she's like, the stairs. He goes to the stairs. He's like,
that's when they find
they're
out
gone.
The stairs are gone.
And for all intents and purposes, they believe that she's dead. So the aunt gets the
neighbor,
the landlord, not the landlord, the
it's like
maintenance man,
guy, yeah, like a neighbor maintenance guy, yeah.
The neighbor maintenance man and
the old man.
The
old man's the maintenance man.
Yeah,
and then her neighbor.
Yeah.
And the neighbor tries to do a prayer. Things go weird.
He tries to close her eyes and they snap open like twice. And then he tries to do a prayer and then she gets up.
Did she get up during the prayer?
No, she didn't get up during the prayer.
Yeah, she didn't get up during the prayer. Just something weird happened during the prayer because the daughter got... No, that's... I think we need to speed this up because we're going to get way too in the weeds.
Okay,
recap.
So then the neighbors go and he's like, there's a fire escape that we can get through. So they're trying to bust through the door, and then
the mom comes back to life. She attacks the daughter. She ends up getting blood, so she takes blood. She has an ink thing that's like for tattoos, and she gives the daughter a blood tattoo, which infects her. So she's the next to die, and then the daughter that got infected has like things. She's afraid there's things growing out of her mouth, so she's eating glass. That's how we get revealed that she's fully possessed. She ends up attacking her brother. The brother gets stabbed and infected by a bloody stab wound and goes kind of nuts. They finally end up trying to get out of the apartment. There's a lot of stuff happens. Yeah. It's the main point of like all of the horror stuff. A lot of weird, gory.
Everyone else is dead at this point.
Yeah, because the mom ends up in the outside. They lock her out on the outside.
She kills the two neighbor kids. And she bit a dude's eye out and then killed the other dude. Killed
one of the three kids. So there were three neighbor boys. She takes one of them, scoops his eye out, spits it, and it chokes one of the other ones to death.
Then she rips the other one's arms off.
Yeah, the smallest one gets his arm ripped off, and then the old man comes out with a shotgun.
He shotguns her. Then she does something to him that we don't see. Yeah. It goes quiet for a while, but then the oldest daughter turns on the inside of the house. She gets stabbed through the head by the youngest daughter by accident. So the boy ties her up.
Right.
The aunt's like, show me. The boy shows her the book. So she's like, all right, I'm gonna listen to this disc, see if there's anything that can help us. At this point, the oldest daughter gets up. The mother sneaks in through the vents. The oldest boy has a knife for protection, stabs the sister. Sister takes it out, stabs him. He dies. Mother gets stabbed in the face with scissors up the nose. They run out. She tries to bust down the door. Doesn't do it. The mother gets up. She's like, dead by dawn. Dead by dawn.
Yeah.
Dead by dawn.
And all of the other dead bodies in the hall are also saying the same thing. So she ends up going into the elevator, and obviously the elevator has to start filling up with blood.
And it reaches its maximum capacity and busts down.
Cracks open, and we get a Shining reference.
Then they run to the car because they have the keys. She tries to drive away, but the car gets stuck in the fault line that was opened by the earthquake.
Right.
Then they hear crashing sounds because the mother has
merged with
the siblings.
The other children
and
has turned into
other body parts.
Yeah, she's turned into a monstrosity. She's in the.
They hide around the car and just kind of go around the.
They go around the car for
around the mulberry bush.
Yes.
All around the mulberry bush.
Yeah. So they go around the car, which is serving as the mulberry bush.
Yeah.
And they try to get the door open. The door starts closing automatically, so they rush out, but the little girl doesn't quite make it.
The girl gets through, but she gets grabbed by the monster. They drag her back in. The aunt's like, come on. So she kicks in the screen on the side of the thing. The mom's about to cut the smallest child's head off with a chainsaw. She's like, "All I want is your little head."
Great line, I
Uh,
guess.
then the ant's able to shoot the
Yeah,
monstrosity.
ant
The
shoots
child
the
hangs
monstrosity.
underneath. The monstrosity turns back around with the chainsaw.
And climbs over the wood chipper that's, of course, in the basement of a
The
parking garage.
ant tripped.
Yeah.
Lost the last shot of the shotgun, but was able to knock the chainsaw away. The monstrosity turns the wood chipper on and starts to pull the ant into it. The small child, being brave, turns it off. The ant grabs the chainsaw and starts just stabbing the monster with the chainsaw.
The little
and
girl
says,
turns back.
"Turn it on!"
Yeah.
And they wood chipper that thing.
They would chipper the heck out of
Blood
that
goes
thing.
everywhere. There's a final line of
You look
Betty
just
Boo.
like her mom.
Betty Boo,
Yeah.
don't take my children from me. And she's like, "Only my sister can call me that." And then it says, "You know, you really do look just like our mom." She kicks the head in. Then she grabs the child, grabs the chainsaw, and walks out. And then we
get
see
the
the
explanation
fifth floor.
for we get the explanation for the opening scene. The girl comes out of the 5th floor, and the spirit comes flying, whooping around, and hits her.
Yep.
And then that's where it closes. Because
Yep.
we can assume that she got possessed because, oh yeah, she was possessed at the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
Anywho,
Yippity doo.
that was Evil Dead Rise. All right, before we get too much into saying Rise over and over again, this isn't The Dark Knight. Anyway, let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the iconic of Evil Dead Rise.
Ooh.
What's good about this movie? Would you like me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so overall, good. I would say that cinematography in this movie was done very well. There's definitely a lot of callbacks to not just The Evil Dead, but a couple of other classic horror movies and things like that. Obviously the Shining scene is really cool visually. I think it was just kind of like forced personally into it. It's just kind of like we're going to fill this elevator with blood, then obviously the elevator's going to open up and spill a bunch of blood. It's shot really well though.
Yeah.
So it's like cinematography overall is done very well. There's good framing, the set design's pretty interesting, the overall all of the scenes and everything like that are done well for what movie this is. So I just have to say, like, visuals and cinematography are done well.
The practical and special effects in this movie are very good. Like when the girl is swallowing glass, they like show as the glass goes down and like part of it stabs out through her neck as she's swallowing.
Yeah.
And like it.
It's a lot of that from the previous film, like the body horror, things like that. It does that very well, where a lot of the scenes and a lot of the things that are happening are very like, it's more of the cringe than the actual fear.
Like she almost gets stabbed in the eye by the tattoo needle, but then she goes across the face and just like, it's all the effects in this movie are just very good. Yeah,
the effects are done very well in this movie. Everything is great, visually very creepy. The mom's makeup and things like that, the makeup work, like you said, the practical effects, and even the CGI. I'm sure there's a lot of CGI in this movie.
Oh yeah, tons of CGI.
Yeah, and but it's done very well.
Yeah, it all ties together really nicely.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell what exactly is CGI. It's not apparent.
Yeah,
which is that's actually impressive for 20. It's sad to say, but it is impressive for a horror movie 2023 to have good effects like this.
Yeah.
Was that your good as well?
Yeah, that was my good.
The practical and physical effects. Okay, how about bad? What would you say is bad?
It's kind of all slapped together. Like it goes because it's a horror movie. The things happen because it is a horror movie. Yes. Yeah. There is no greater plot than it's a horror movie.
And there's no greater excuse than it's a horror movie.
Yes.
The vast majority of this movie really is as an audience watching it, the vast majority of this film, especially in the beginning, I think my number one comment was always, why the hell would you do that? Why? Don't do that. Just don't do that.
There's quite a few times where we were both just like, all right, throw the body down the hole, deal with it later.
Well, right. And it's like, you know, the bodies are all possessed and things like that. And they're like, well, we can't really get a hold of 911 because of the cell phone towers. And I'm like, this is really dark, but just hear me out. If the possessed people who are constantly trying to murder you keep coming back to life and you have an open window, throw the body out the window. Guess what? The police are probably going to show up because they're going to be like, yo, bro, 2 bodies ended up flying outside the 13th floor of this old building. Maybe we should try to rescue them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
When the stairwell was, I was like, all right, just throw the bodies down the stairwell.
Exactly. Just get them away from me for the night. Like, and also, like, it's very clear that, well, it's clear to us as the audience. It's not necessarily clear to them, but, like, the spirits are very clearly being transmuted through tainted blood.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, if you got rid of the bodies, you wouldn't be constantly getting possessed. They find a way back up. Yeah. Obviously.
Eventually.
At least they try.
Yeah.
You know, at least try.
I mean, if the elevator jammed, they wouldn't be able to come that way.
Right. It would take them a long time to get back up.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but even like if you threw them out of the window, at the very least you get people to.
Yeah.
Although then you would have like a whole village full of demons because this movie's just it's not a happy premise.
No. There is no way to stop them. Dismemberment does not work in this movie.
Wood chipper did.
Barely.
Well, the wood chipper worked to free the family from the little curse thing, but the spirit still took the next person that went into the basement. So
yeah,
it'll never end. It'll never end because they have risen. Oh yes, indeed. I would say that the bad leaning into that too is just the tropiness. Like it's almost, it's like borderline ugly. Actually, it is really borderline ugly. This is one of the tropiest horror movies I have seen in a very, very long time. Every single plot device, every single point in the story, all of the cringe, all of the lore, all of the things actually like gluing the movie together is a trope. Oh, wow, we found this mysterious book. Let's grab it. Oh, wow, the book mysteriously opened. Let's read it. Oh, wow, the book has these tapes recorded to it. Let's listen to it. Oh, wow, the mom's definitely clearly possessed. Let's give her time and opportunity to attack us and manipulate us.
Yep.
Oh, wow, the other person's also infected. Let's give them opportunity and time to attack us as well.
Yep.
A lot of this does fall into tropes. And then the final trope obviously being you got in the car. I was surprised that the car even started, but at the same time it's like you gotta subvert at least some tropes. The car got stuck.
Yeah.
So it's like still a trope. You have the gate opening at the end, everything's going right until the car's tires get stuck, because obviously the car's tire has to get stuck. I think I called it right before they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is just like it's borderline ugly. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's like the thing I warn people about, because it is just what makes the movie kind of bad.
Yeah.
It's just like a bad thing. All right. How about ugly? Speaking of ugly, what's the thing that you actually kind of warn people about before going into this movie?
This one just has a lot of body horror. It's another one where there's a lot of body horror, and that is worth warning people about.
Definitely, because that's not everybody's tastes. It's not mine. Just being honest, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
You know, so the first 2 Evil Dead movies kind of a little bit more along my viewing line. The last one I could forgive it a little bit because at least there was like some intrigue and the story was still there. This one 100% is just like all the horror elements are body horror.
Yep.
So I will agree with you and just say, like, we'll just continue this conversation because the ugly is the movie's only scary aspects really are the body horror aspects.
And the fact that they keep coming back.
Yeah, the fact they keep coming back. And then, you know, you got like the dialogue and things like that. It's a scary premise. The
Also,
possession premise.
I don't know if it was just me, but like, it didn't seem like they like equalized the sound all the way throughout. Because like, there's some parts where like they would just be talking, and like all of a sudden their voices just like were like,
Yeah.
and the other person's just like, "Hey, that's not fair of you to say that about me." I'm just like, what did they say about you?
Some of the dialogue does have that, and I don't know if that's a disc issue,
Yeah.
but I would say the audio blending is a bit wonky. And the thing too though is like even missing a lot of the bits of dialogue does not change any of the horrific elements of the movie.
Nope.
Like the fact that this movie is 100% just a body horror movie.
Yeah.
It's really all it is. It just hangs and hinges on that.
Yep.
You know, you got great practical effects and you have all these great shots and it's good cinematography, but it only serves the fact that it's a body horror movie.
Yep.
If those effects weren't done well, then it wouldn't serve the purpose of we're making a body horror movie. I'm going to have that tongue twister the entire time, I swear.
Body horror movie, body horror movie, body horror movie.
Yes, you're very impressive, Pet. I understand.
Hey, I'm overpowered for a reason.
That's true. That's true. But yes, the whole movie hinges
on the fringes
yes.
of bodily parts.
Yes. So it's like it is ugly. I would warn people about it because it's like if you're here for intrigue, if you're here for like the horrific backstory, if you're here for more of like the creepy dialogue and things like that, this movie doesn't really have it very much.
Not really.
Like they do, but in like very tropey ways, in very predictable ways.
Like it's the sister
lines.
just like
yeah
disapproving of the other sister's lifestyle. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and obviously the demons are aware of the fact that the main character's pregnant, so they've got to make a lot of comments about that. How they're both going to end up burning in hell.
One soul, two souls.
Bastard child.
Elizabeth's waiting for you and your bastard child in hell.
Yeah, it's like it's very predictable lines, and so yes, it is like it serves its purpose and things like that. I would say that it's like I think that The Ugly too is just like it's a body horror movie, but it's also like it's not that good of a movie.
Yeah,
actually. So that would be kind of my ugly. Is it's just like it is so much leaning into the fact that it's body horror that it just didn't turn out to be a very good movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of though, what would you say is iconic? What makes the movie worth watching? Or, you know, we can even go so far as to say, is it iconic? Is it worth watching? Is there something about this movie that you genuinely think is really good?
There's not. Like, this is a movie that could be done without.
Yeah.
Not often has that happened, but yeah, this is like, not gonna search it out to watch it, and if I'm flipping through, I might like watch for a bit and just be like, oh god.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if you're going to be watching it, you have to just be watching it in line with the other movies. And by the other movie, I mean just specifically the 2013 movie. Because it's kind of clear they're trying to establish a trilogy. So if they make another Evil Dead movie, which I think has been greenlit, then I think the only reason that you would watch this one is if you're watching the entire series.
Yeah.
This isn't one of those horror movies that even in October I'm going to be like, you know, it's October. It's probably time to put in some Evil Dead Rise.
This one does not work well as a standalone.
It doesn't work well as a standalone. And it barely works functionally with the movie previously.
Yeah.
It's an okay film if it's a trilogy. It's not a good film as a sequel.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not a great standalone film.
Correct.
You know, so iconic wise, like what makes it worth it is really just this one hinges very much on the third film. Or the potential third film.
This film is a nepotism baby.
Explain. What do you mean by that? Nepotism, baby.
The entirety of people that are going to watch this are people that have seen Evil Dead, that love Evil Dead, and are expecting this to be a working facsimile of the Evil Dead universe.
It literally is a nepotism baby. It literally is. It's literally riding the coattails of the success of the franchise.
Yes.
It's literally nepotism baby.
Yep.
Is that what's iconic about it? This is just like a pure nepotism.
It's a nepotism baby.
It really is. The only reason we watched it is because we watched the other ones.
We were watching the series.
Yeah.
And, oh, here's a Neville Evil Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, because now that I think about it too, like 2023, I was going to movies every week.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother with this one because I hadn't watched any of the other Evil Dead.
Yes.
The only reason somebody watches this is because it's an Evil Dead movie.
Yes.
It is a nepotism baby. That is well done, Pat. Well done. Very well done. Very well done. Yeah, so I guess the iconic is that is the perfect nepotism baby movie. If you like the franchise, you might like it. I don't know. But I do think that this hinges entirely on if there's a third movie. As far as
the third movie ties into it.
Exactly. Well, it has to if they make another one. Because
This one has mild tie-in that this could be related to the 2013 one.
It's a throwaway line. And I think that they did that on purpose. It's a throwaway line because if this one did not do as well as the 2013... So the 2013 did okay.
Yeah.
But if this one definitely for sure flopped, they would be like, well, the series is over.
Yeah.
So it can end right here. But they threw in a little line that mentions that there's 3 books.
Yes.
So the next movie is probably planned but not secured funding. I think that they've greenlit another one. I think they did. Because if I recall, this one didn't do terribly as far as budget. It wasn't that high budget. We'll find out.
And it got the influx because people like, oh, they're trying to they're doing Evil Dead again. Maybe they did justice.
I feel like I read if there was another Evil Dead movie. We're going to just go ahead and, because we're professionals here, I'm just going to Google it.
Because Google knows everything, even the things you don't want it to know, it knows about you.
Yes. There will be another Evil Dead movie. It's titled Evil Dead Burn and is scheduled to release July 24th, 2026.
Is it in continuance with Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise?
It's moving forward with new stories and not necessarily relying on Ash Williams and characters. This is obviously the initial search AI thing. But yes, Evil Dead Burn is going to be releasing in 2026. There is multiple articles about it.
All right.
So there will be a third movie. So this movie is entirely dependent on the next movie. We may revive this franchise for us if we're still watching movies in 2026.
Yeah.
We might just watch it in theaters and then do a podcast about it whenever it releases.
Yeah.
If you want us to see the new Evil Dead movie when it comes out into theaters, let us know in the comments below, and we for sure will. If there's any interest in that video, we will continue to do it. Otherwise, we're going to continue the trend where I make Pat watch horror movies, and we are moving into Leprechaun.
I'll get my shoes ready.
Nice. All right. Otherwise, speaking about getting things ready, prepare yourselves.
Subscribe.
For more movies. Subscribe. Yes, prepare yourselves for more movies by subscribing. We like watching all sorts of different movies. Finishing up the Evil Dead, but we also watch the Universal the Universal monster movies. Yep. We watch the Godzilla movies, and I think we have by now. No, we haven't yet. We are wrapping up the Mel Brooks series, and then I think we've been talking about doing the Muppets with that one. DJ's choice. He wanted to do the Muppets. It was either the Muppets or the Fast and the Furious, and the Muppets is much more revisitable.
It's time to wake the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets at the Muppet Show tonight. Hey, come at the coffee.
Yeah, so if those interest you, let us know as well. We're just open to the comments. Leave us a like if you like this video, and otherwise we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye bye.